Okay, so taking a quick look at the Halo Master Chief Collection. This is the Halo 2 anniversary. At the moment it's the pre-release, I think it's the third flight. Now, I don't have the full 15, I say 15, I think a couple of them count as videos on this. But everything is exactly the same as you would expect it to be based on the Xbox version. However, we're missing a few maps. We have CAIRO Station, Metropolis, Oracle, Delta Halo, Quarantine Zone and Grave Mine just to try out at the moment. All of these are running quite well. The only one where there seems to be a few issues that I've had so far and reported them over was towards the end of Delta Halo. I've had a couple of problems. In fact, I've never actually finished Delta Halo without having to reload into it. Seems to be something a little bit wrong with it when you actually reach the end of that map. Otherwise, everything else is working quite well. If we load up the CAIRO Station, you've got your exact same options as you see on the Xbox. If you don't use the Xbox, then they're very similar to, well, they're identical to setting up games that have already been released. So the Anniversary or the Reach Edition. Choose your difficulty, choose your skulls, just the same as before. One of the things that I will point out is the load times don't seem to be very good. I think they'd probably be massively improved. I would expect to be into something like this really quickly. At the moment, it seems to be quite similar to the actual Xbox load time, if not worse. And it does seem to hang towards the end of the loading. Speed this up. Okay, so once we're into the game, which the load time there is probably pushing close to a minute, and that's with a reasonably decent SSD, so I hope that will be looked at. It's not the same as I experienced on all of the other games when they were fully released. One of the things we can do with the videos, which you couldn't do in the Anniversary, is we can change them from this to the original graphics. The original graphics obviously get a resolution bump. I can't, with my eyes, tell if anything else has been tweaked. I think it's just a resolution bump. Textures don't seem any different. I might be wrong on that one. The sound does change over to the original sound, which is great on some of the maps like Grave Mines, where you can actually hear the original music instead of some of the quite tweaked music for the remaster. There are a few issues with those videos though, a few times where you might find that you don't get any sound. It's not caused a massive issue, but it has caused a few sort of silent moments. Now, one thing I have spotted straight away is changing over to the graphics, the original and the updated renderer, it's instant and it does work extremely well. There seems to be some kind of curious glitch going on at this point in time. When you change over, if you're using an output, which I haven't got on screen here, don't like that button binding, I haven't got on screen here, but it actually shows that your frame rate sometimes seems to get stuck at 60 FPS if you're running higher than that, and then when you change over, it will go back down to 140, go back up to 144, 240, or whatever you're playing at 90 or so. And then it will change each time you do it. When you play for a little bit or you go to a new area, it will then lock back down to 60 and require you to tap it, change it out. So I hope that's something that can be... I have bullets here. Hopefully that will be something that we can have fixed before it comes out. Again, that's one of the things that when we're doing these flights, hopefully everyone's managing to report those and to let everyone know that that's happening. We'll kill these guys, then we'll have a look at the graphics. I can see now that the frame rate's done its weird little budge up. So, we can use the original graphics, which obviously run very well, and they actually look quite nice. In some sections I do prefer using these because there's a lot of clutter in the image with the new renderer, I find, and I do find some areas are extremely dark. There's also an effect which makes blasts that fly past you. I think it's to kind of fake HDR in some way, but when they fly past you, it kind of blacks the image out, and that can be a bit of a problem. So, if you're trying to play through the game quite quickly, or you're in a particularly stressful moment, that can, and here we go, frame rate's dropped again. That can cause a few issues there. We'll get to one of the nicer sections and we'll have a look at concentration voice. we'll get to one of the nicer sections here, and then we'll have a look at some of the differences in the graphics, and we'll just have a quick tweak through. One of my initial impressions of playing this is would find it hard now to go back to the console version. The mouse and keyboard implementation is brilliant. The crosshair is centering the screen, which is... I've never understood why that was a thing with Halo. It definitely was a thing. I don't know why it was a thing. It just feels odd and weird, especially on the PC, playing that with the centralized... Sorry, the slightly off-center reticle is a real problem. So okay, we take a look around this room and see that, of course, the graphics are incredibly better than the original mastered version. They're also significantly better than they are on the Xbox X, Xbox One update. There is still this strange artifact in, which you may be able to see on the video. It's a little bit tricky to see it, but you certainly notice it when you're actually playing the game. Shadows seem to have kind of a dotted or cross-hatched appearance. I've playing this on a lower resolution because I want to play it at a higher frame rate. If you turn the resolution up, the impact of that is reduced more significantly. However, it is still noticeable. It's very noticeable playing this at the lower resolution with the shadows and this kind of shading around it. I'm not sure why that's still in. That was present on Reach when I played Reach, and it's present on the Halo 1 Anniversary, which was felt like a real issue, if I'm honest. One of the real benefits, though, with the version that's updated to the PC is, just as before, the load details are significantly better, so the shadows. You are limited again. If we have a look at the settings, are limited massively in changing it, and hopefully that's something that will get changed in the future. But at this point in time, there's not really a lot that we can change. We can change our frame rate to either unlimited or 60 FPS. I wouldn't want to be playing it at 60 FPS with this monitor. Luckily, I have G-Sync or FreeSync, whichever one it's actually using. It kind of covers these differences, so I'd leave it on the unlimited. Graphics quality, we've either got enhanced, we've got original, or we've got performance. So if we have a quick look at the original, this is the original experience, and what they mean by that is it's what you got on the Xbox. Okay, so we're back. 46 hours of loading later, and that's taken me back into the game at the exact point that we left off. Now, it may be difficult to see it on a YouTube video, but we've got a significantly stronger load details in the distance. I'm not sure the edge solution's quite as good. The shadowing problem feels more visible to me. And if we come and look at some of the character models, see that shadowing issue still persists. Text to detail is significantly lower. Of course, this remains unaltered as far as my eyes can see, and it still has the quick switch across. So we'll change over to the next graphical options on here, which is performance. So reduce for best performance. Okay, so we're back in performance mode. I'll talk about some of the odd issues that I find with this one in a second. Now you can immediately tell that this is, texture-wise, is significantly stripped back. Of course, resolution and things have not changed, but we got far more aggressive loads, and we've got massively reduced. Take a look at this Dead Elite placed here. You can see that it looks a lot worse. Shadow artifacting issue is gone, but the reason for that is these objects aren't shadowing, just got baked shadows, and they look significantly worse. Now, if you've got a PC that isn't able to run this when you get it, isn't able to run it, even now on this pre-release build, it's running brilliantly. So there's really is hope that you'll be able to run this, and these lower graphic settings, to be fairly honest, not massively different because the overall lighting effect still looks great. I think there's probably something that's not working too well with it, because I'm still getting frame rate drops at certain points, which shouldn't make sense if it's able to push the game well as it is normally. But worse screen space reflections there. We still switch back to the old graphics. Again, I can't see any difference in those at all. Okay, let's put these back onto the only other setting, which is enhanced setting. That gives you absolutely everything that is possible to change in the game at this point. Okay, so we're back now with the, I say, full graphics, and we can see we got the cool blood splodges with their bump maps, and we've got the horrible shadows back, but we've got the textures, the significantly higher details in those, and the reflections of the enhanced mode, and of course we got the longer draw distance that was missing. Now, as final thoughts, this is still, I think that the plasma pistol might be tied to the frame rate of the game a little bit, which is a bit off-putting, but as final thoughts for it, it's still exactly the same experience I had on the Xbox X. If we switch over to this original renderer, other than these current strange frame rate drops, it's still the exact same game that we played a long time ago. The Anniversary Edition looks very good, even by PC standards. They work with the lighting and the overall look of the game. The art stands up extremely well. So it's the exact game you'd expect. There is a lot of work, I think. I don't think it's close really to being released yet. However, we still have the pre-release, which I'll be supporting as much as I can, giving as much information across to the devs so that we can get this working as well as we hope to, because it's an absolute treasure, this game is. I love it. Even with these significant frame rate drops and problems in the pre-release, which is totally to be expected, I think it's really something to look forward to, and I can't wait to get back playing Halo 2 Anniversary. I will have another video up if you're interested in getting into this flighting, either with this game or with any of the later Halo games. I'll give you some information on how to do that. I'm not sure if it's still possible to get into this current flight, but you may be able to do it for one of the later ones, or you might be able to play some other games using share with you. But I'll put that up as a separate video, and you'll be able to check those out. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe and support the channel. I really appreciate that. If there's anything you'd like to see from this game, I'll be more than happy to show you that, and to upload even full streams of me playing through it. Whether or not it's say speed run, I'm not good enough anymore, but whether or not it's a speed run or a specific section that you want to see. Thanks for watching, folks.